Guys, in this video I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about inside the waistband holsters and just look at a couple of things that you want to consider when trying to select a holster for your gun. Before we get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you would like and share the video. Also leave me a comment down below. Check out all of the links, and that way you can help support what we do here. Also, if you're interested in becoming a channel member and getting early access to these videos, go over to my main page and you can do that there. Here's a couple of holsters that I got, and these are available on Amazon. I'll put a link down below. And both of these are for the same gun, my Glock 19, which is what you see here. But there are some differences, and that's what I wanted to talk about for any of you guys that are new to concealed carry. These are from Monolo, I believe that's how you pronounce it. But what we're going to do is simply open these up, and then we will talk about some of the differences in each of these holsters, give you some things to consider for yourself when trying to decide what type of holster that you want. And you can see here some of the stuff that we get with this holster. Looks like we've got a couple of clips, just depending on how I wanted to adjust this. You can see here that I could change that clip out if I wanted, and so on, adjust the type or the way that it rides. So let's get this one out, and let's go ahead and also get the other one out, because these two holsters have some features that I wanted to point out and show you the similarities and differences in them. And what I wanted to begin with is, whenever you are looking for a holster for concealed carry, the first thing that you want to do is you want to look for a holster that is going to completely cover the trigger guard of your firearm. This is, of course, my Glock 19 running the XS Big Dot sights. I love these sights. I love these guns. I am a big fan of these sights. As I had mentioned, always make sure that the trigger is completely covered by the holster on any of your firearms. You can see here this holster covers this trigger very well. I do not have to worry about anything getting in there and accidentally hitting that holster or hitting that trigger and causing a negligent discharge. And now let's check the other one. And you can see here, fits very well, fits right in there just like a glove. Now you'll notice one of the big differences between these two holsters. This one has a padded back. Don't let this one fool you though. Even though it may not look like it, there is a little bit of padding on the back of this holster as well. It is just not as thick. Now, depending on what you want, what you would consider comfort level, there are some similarities and differences between these two holsters. This holster is completely basically like a taco style holster, where it is folded around, and then your gun would fit in there and you would carry it inside the waistband for concealed carry. This one is more of a hybrid type, where on the back side of this holster is the fabric material, in this case leather or simulated leather or whatever, that is the backing of that. And one of the trade-offs is the thickness. If you can see here, if I get these lined up properly, I get them about even, you can see that there is just a very slight difference in the thickness. Not a lot, but just a very slight difference. So depending on your needs, this is something for you to consider. Also, there's a lot of holster manufacturers out there that you do not get this type of a padding on the back of that holster. I can tell you from many years carrying concealed firearms, that is something that can be useful. Having that padding on the back will make that holster much more comfortable, especially if you're going to be carrying it all day. Something like this, it is a little bit of an additional padding, just depending on how you dress, what you're looking for, and it is something that would make it much easier having that firearm at the ready whenever you needed it to be. But again, that goes back to how you dress. Something like this directly against your skin, it's going to help keep that gun from rubbing you as much. Of course, this one does have some of that padding. This one might be a little more sticky to the skin, especially if you got to sweating and that sort of thing. But both would work well, just depending on what you needed for your particular application. You can adjust the tension on these. You can see here these screws here if you needed to adjust that down, that's something that you would be able to do very easily. On this holster, you have a little bit of an adjustment right here just to squeeze it down a little bit more. But something else that you need to be aware of, whenever you are trying to adjust your holster, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you don't get it too tight, because when you put that holster on, that gun is going to be squeeze. I can't say the word for some reason, but you're going to get a lot of tension on that holster and that gun. So make sure that you don't make it too tight. Okay, if you have an adjustment screw on your holster like these do, you don't want to run that down too tight, because then it's going to make it difficult for you to get your gun out. Be sure to try it out, see how well it fits and how easy it is for you to draw if necessary. Okay, so that's something that you do need to remember. This holster, both of these holsters, they fit the guns very well. Again, this is my Glock 19. This one is my Gen 5. Great gun, love this gun. This is one of the earlier model Gen 5s. You can see there it has that little cutout on the front of the grip. Okay, on that front strap there, it's a little bit of a cutout. They stopped doing that fairly quickly, but mine, I got this one early enough to where it still has that. Now these holsters, very nice, I'll have to say. They're not the thickest of Kydex, but at the same time, you don't really necessarily need a super thick Kydex. It really depends on what you're going to do, the type of carry that you do, and what fits you, your body type, and that sort of thing. But just to show you guys what these look like. The clips, a fairly decent clip on each of these, okay? Fairly decent, okay? I'll have to say, I think that they're fairly decent. You do have a little bit of flex on this one just because of the way that it is there. Okay, and it would let you tuck into a certain amount depending on your shirt or whatever, how far down it would go. It does look like you would be able to tuck a shirt in slightly. That's something that some folks do not consider when they are buying a holster or whatever. You can tuck, if you have a little bit of a slot here, you can tuck your shirt in around that depending on how deep it is and all that sort of thing. And of course we did get some different brackets with one of them. Right here you can see here to where you can actually let it ride a little differently, just depending on what you want to do. Okay? But anyways guys, I just wanted to show these two holsters to you and also talk a little bit about some of the things that you're going to want to consider, especially if you are someone that is new to concealed carry. Okay, that's something that you want to think about, guys. Don't look at a holster just as an afterthought. Once you go out, you make the investment into a firearm for your self-defense. Make sure that you look at a decent holster. You know, these for concealed carry, I really like that padding on the back of this one. I think that's something that would be very comfortable. You know, you want to consider a holster as an investment also. Again, guys, I'll put links to both of these down below. Guys, hope you liked the video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What is the most uncomfortable holster that you've worn? And what's the most comfortable? Let me know down below. Love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching. Check out the rest of the videos on my channel. Be sure to subscribe. Visit my website at boomsticktactical.com, and we'll see you next time.